Hi there, it's LDake again with Kale Realty, your Illinois licensed broker. My number is 773-697-4474, and my website is LDake.com. That's spelled LORIDAKE.com. Please feel free to check out my website. If you need to contact me for anything, even if it's not real estate related, hey man, that's what I'm here for, okay? I can certainly pass along a message. I can try to help you out the best I can. If I don't know the answer, I know someone else who does. And of course, if you are talking real estate, again, I can help you out. Otherwise, I know someone who can anywhere across the country, of course. I do residential sales and leasing. You can check out my website and see the listings that I do have. Almost all of them are ready for immediate move-in. I do have one that's available for July 1st, which is next week. And then, of course, I'm getting a whole bunch more. Phones are definitely ringing again. So, hey, happy days are back. And speaking of which, you know, I just talked to Joel Shaw. He's a lender over at Guaranteed Rate. Now, what he was telling me was that, yeah, I mean, you know, he's busy. There's a lot of folks that are getting their refis done because he's saying that the rates are probably the lowest he's ever seen. So if you're looking to buy, it will take a little bit longer because everybody's calling them right now because the rates are so low. So, hey, no problem. One thing he is saying is he wanted to make sure people knew that no, the Fed hasn't tightened their belt. It's actually some of the lenders have they're not looking at the 500-ish scores so much. I do know lenders who are still doing that, but most of them, they're looking for like the 680-ish range. So, you know, of course, you know, the better your credit score and stuff like that, the better the rate you're going to get. Now, what he did tell me was, he said, say, for example, you had someone that wanted to be a first-time buyer. They're looking at maybe 150 to 200,000, you know, like maybe a condo or something. He said if they had like a 680 credit score and that they had about $7,000 on hand, they would be able to get something with an FHA loan. However, folks like me would have to do our hard work and negotiate and make sure that you got a credit closing cost. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of where you need to be. But of course, everybody's going to be different. So he says, sure, let them know that. But what you really want to do is talk to a lender, see what your rate's going to be, see where you're currently at, see where you need to get to. Now, he's a hand holder type, which is great. So, you know, first time buyers, they don't exactly know what to do. So he can help you out with that. So, of course, I know other lenders too, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out. More importantly, today is the start of phase 4. Now, that means that the restaurants are going to start letting us eat inside. I think like only 25% capacity. And then things like the playgrounds are going to be open. I know the kids are itching to go to the playground. Oh, God, I know. My grandson. And then there's some other stuff that's opening up more too. Now, we got to stay vigilant, folks. I'm just saying that right now because there's a lot of people that think, oh, you know, phase 3, phase 4, we're done with this. COVID's over. No. In fact, I don't know if you guys have been watching the news lately, but they're saying that this week we've had the highest nationwide number of cases. People are still getting sick out there, man. People are still dying. You know, every one of the hospital folks that I know, people that work, you know, doctors and nurses and stuff, every one of them I know has gotten sick. You know, a couple weren't really, you know, like more than a sniffle, but they still had it and had to quarantine themselves. I mean, there's some states that if you come from one of these high-risk states, when you come into their state, you got quarantined for 2 weeks. That's what they're talking about. That Cuomo guy, Governor Cuomo in New York. So yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. Now this week, yes, it's a cooking show week. What I wanted to show you is, because we're in phase 4 and because things are starting to get back to normal, well, new normal. One of the things is a lot of people are going back to work, and maybe you don't all have a lot of money on hand. So, and believe me, I know brown bag lunches, well, they're not the best. But so what I did is I prepared 10 completely different meals just from just a few items and mixed it up, and these are all delicious. So this first one here, 2 proteins I used. Half of them are ground beef and half of them is chicken. And I actually used one of those $5 Costco rotisserie chickens, and there was still meat left over. So this is a lot of food, guys, and it was only like a couple of pounds of ground beef. I used the higher grade, the 93%, because that way I don't have to drain it so much, you know. So anyway, let me show you what I got here. This first one is a Swiss steak, which I made with, you know, a ground beef patty, plus it has some rice. Lots of tomatoes and peppers and onions in there, so it's got a lot of vegetable. This next one is an alternative to that. It's a Salisbury steak where I made with an onion mushroom gravy, some mashed potatoes. Now my mashed potatoes are skin on with garlic, and also some peas, just some frozen peas. This next one, yum yum. This is a chicken tikka masala with some brown rice. Notice I'm using the brown rice. It's a little healthier, so not the basmati, but it's okay. This next one is basically like a deconstructed shepherd's pie. So you've got all the filling here, and then I put the mashed potatoes to the side. Next one, oh my goodness, these are where they really start getting good. This, I made a Greek chicken. Now, I joke with folks, but I'm not too far off. The main difference between Italian flavor and Greek flavor, replace the basil with lemon. It's not far off. So I followed that, and then I have the rice underneath it, and the rice is also seasoned with the Greek seasonings. And then I've got some tomatoes and onions there. And what I did with this chicken is I cut it off from the roasted chicken, and I put it in the oven for a while to get that skin extra crispy. You know how rotisserie chicken, sometimes the skin's not crispy enough, so makes it extra good. And that's what I put on the seasonings and threw it in there. Now this one, I went and bought some Thai sweet chili sauce, and I mixed that in with some pineapple, some green pepper, some green onion, and then of course some more rice. This one, stuffed peppers, yum yum, and that of course I had some extra filling, put it on the side. The next one I got is a hearty beef chili. I don't like the runny chili, I like it thick. So as you can see here, that's not moving. This is something that you can almost eat with a fork. And then I like to side it with some rice. Now this one here is a fajita bowl, and I made a Spanish style rice with a little bit of vegetable in it. So you've got the green pepper and the onion and the seasonings and things like that. And then this last one is roasted chicken. Again, I did the same thing like with the Greek chicken where I put it in the oven. Just put some herbs on top, and then it's got baked potato is underneath it, and then some peas. Now, how do you like that? You want to know what the cost of all this was? Well, the rice, 99 cents. The chicken, of course, was $5. I did spend a little bit more on the ground beef, So that was about $7 because I got it on sale. And then, of course, 99 cents for a bag of peas, a couple of onions, a tomato. You know, I mean, really, it wasn't that much. I think I spent $1.99 on the Tikka Masala sauce, but I only used some of it so I can save it for later for another meal this week. Now, of course, my husband's going to be home soon, and he's going to want to eat one of these. So I'm just going to be like, hey, hun, what do you want for dinner? And then, but yeah, we're going to be able to store these and put them in the fridge. I can even put some of these in the freezer. These containers I bought from Home Goods a while back, and I got them for a lot cheaper than what they sell at regular retail. And these are the same containers. It kind of freaked me out as one of those home delivery service, one of the fresh ones that the chef inspired, blah, blah, blah. So it's like you get to have a nice meal. You just put the container on it like that and it seals real tight. And then boom, I even have like a little label on each one. So that's what I got for you today. I just wanted to show you how easy this is. The rice took 40 minutes. The chicken was done. Like I said, I just threw it back in the oven. Making a couple of patties. The only difference between this one and the Swiss steak is with this one, I also add a little green pepper into the patty itself. I made a batch of ground beef, so I stirred it into this one. This is the same onion mushroom gravy as this one. And then this one, of course, added a couple extra vegetables. I mean, really, this was just cutting up the chicken. Same with this one and this one, adding a little bit of extra vegetable. It wasn't that hard at all to make 10 meals. And I think total with the groceries, I mean, yeah, I did have some spices already. I do cook a lot, but I probably spent maybe about $25 for 10 meals. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. You know, fortunately, it is cheaper this time of year because the vegetables are fresh. But, you know, whenever I get a sale on stuff, like ground beef, fry it up now and throw it in the freezer. I mean, I had made extra, and that's what I did here. So, hope that helps you out, gives you some ideas. Please feel free to reach out to me, ask me what any of the recipes are. They're not hard, but I'd love to help and share them with you, okay? Again, I'm LDake with Kale Realty, and my number is 773-697-4474, and my website's LDake.com. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to hearing from you again soon.